Today, we uncover the shocking truth about UK dog food. We call ourselves a nation of dog lovers. We say dogs are man's best friend, part of the family, our loyal companions. But once you finish this article, you'll realize the people running the pet food industry aren't treating them like family at all. They've built an empire on one simple truth. Most owners have no idea what they're actually feeding their dogs. Behind those colourful bags and cheerful tins sits a scandal so massive it's hiding in plain sight on every supermarket shelf. Dogs with fur falling out in patches, food dyes leaching through their paws. Additives banned in 4 countries, but perfectly legal here. Mystery meat labelled so vaguely it could contain anything from beaks to diseased tissue. Treats marketed for dental health that actually cause the cavities they claim to prevent. And here's the truly disturbing part: the corporations making your dog sick are the same ones buying up vet chains across the UK. They profit twice, once from the harmful food and again from treating the illnesses it creates. 50% of UK dogs are now overweight or struggling with health issues. That's 1 in 2. Yet only 4% of owners think their pets need help. The gap between reality and perception didn't happen by accident. It was engineered by companies spending millions on heartwarming commercials while filling bags with cereals, vague derivatives, and chemical cocktails. Some of these brands have been trusted for generations. Your grandparents fed them, your parents never questioned them. That longevity isn't proof of safety. It's proof of successful marketing across decades. The UK allows pet food companies to hide ingredients under vague categories that would be outright rejected in other countries. Meat and animal derivatives, derivatives of vegetable origin, various sugars. These aren't accidental phrases. They're legal loopholes designed to keep you in the dark. So we've gone through the major brands currently sold in UK supermarkets, and we'll expose the 12 dog food products you need to avoid. Then I'll tell you the handful which are actually worth buying. But first, I need your help with something. If this video shocks you, if it changes how you see that bag in your cupboard, click the hype button, not just the like, the hype button. Because YouTube's algorithm decides what gets shown, every hype click pushes this video to more dog owners who need to see it. It's about creating enough noise that these corporations can't ignore us anymore. When enough people know the truth, when enough owners demand transparency, these companies will be forced to change their standards or lose their market. Your hype click is a vote for better food regulations. It's pushing back against decades of deception. So hit that hype button and let's make some noise they can't ignore. Number 12. Baker's Complete. Walk down any supermarket pet aisle and you'll see it. Bright bags, happy dogs on the packaging, competitive pricing. Baker's has been a UK staple for years. But flip that bag over and read the ingredient list. 13 E-numbers. Not 1 or 2, 13 separate artificial additives in a single product. Let's talk about what you're actually feeding. E320, also known as BHA, has been linked to tumours in animal studies. E104, quinoline yellow, is banned in Norway, the USA, Australia and Japan. 4 countries looked at the evidence and said no. But it's perfectly legal here and it's in your dog's bowl. E171 titanium dioxide was banned in Germany over concerns about potential DNA damage. Then there's the actual food content. 59% cereals, only 4% chicken. You're feeding your dog a grain-heavy filler with a sprinkle of meat and a cocktail of additives. Real owners have reported watching their dog's fur fall out in patches after switching to Baker's. Others noticed food dye literally leaching through their dog's paws, staining them and causing severe itching. One owner described her dog scratching until raw, while the artificial colors from Baker's bled onto her bedding. This isn't nutrition. Here's a simple test you can do at home. Take a piece of Baker's kibble and crumble it between your fingers. Notice that dusty, powdery interior? That's not nutrition breaking down. That's cheap filler disintegrating. Real food doesn't behave like chalk. Your dog trusts you to protect them. They can't read ingredient lists or research E-numbers. They eat what you give them without question. Baker's is betraying that trust with every bowl. Number 11. Pedigree Wet, the chunks in jelly or gravy variety. Pedigree is owned by Mars, the same company that makes chocolate bars. They've spent decades building trust through advertising. Those heartwarming commercials work because we want to believe a massive corporation cares about our dogs. Look at the label, meat and animal derivatives. 43% sounds decent until you read the fine print. Only 4% of that is actually chicken or liver. The rest, legally it could be anything: beaks, feet, feathers, organs from diseased animals deemed unfit for human consumption. The UK allows companies to hide behind these vague categories. In the USA, they'd have to list exactly what animal parts are in there. Here, they just write derivatives and move on. Now open a tin and look at those chunks. Perfect cubes, uniform size, identical texture. Press one between your fingers. Notice that rubbery bounce? Real meat doesn't do that. Real meat crumbles, tears, breaks apart. This bounces back like a stress ball because it's held together with starch binders and processing. Drop a chunk on a plate. Watch it bounce. That's not food behavior. That's manufactured texture designed to look like meat while being cheap to produce. Mars doesn't just own Pedigree, they own Dentastics, Royal Canin, and they're actively buying up vet chains across the UK. Think about that structure. They make the food that harms your dog, then profit again when you take your sick dog to their vet. It's a closed loop of profit built on your trust. Your parents probably fed Pedigree, your grandparents might have too. That's not an endorsement. That's 3 generations of successful marketing convincing families that longevity equals quality. It doesn't. It just means their advertising budget outlasted scrutiny. Number 10. Dentastics. This one's particularly cruel because it's marketed specifically for your dog's health. The packaging promises cleaner teeth, fresher breath, healthier gums. Millions of owners buy these thinking they're doing something good. Let's look at what's actually inside. Iron oxide, listed as E172. Studies have linked it to lung inflammation and raised concerns about long-term exposure. Then there's STPP, sodium tripolyphosphate, E451. Research has flagged genotoxicity concerns. These aren't fringe studies. These are legitimate scientific questions about ingredients going into your dog's mouth daily. But here's the truly twisted part. Dentastics are over 90% carbohydrates. Cereals make up the bulk of the stick. And what happens to cereals in your dog's mouth? They break down into sugars, the same sugars that cause the exact cavities and decay Dentastics claim to prevent. You're paying for a treat that coats your dog's teeth in the substance that creates dental problems. It's not cleaning their teeth, it's causing the decay while making you feel responsible and caring. The fresh breath, artificial flavoring masking the sugar rush. The chewy texture, designed to make you think it's scrubbing plaque while it's actually depositing decay-causing residue. And who owns Dentastics? Mars. The same corporation selling you Pedigree, profiting from the vet visits when your dog develops problems, and now selling you a solution that makes those problems worse. The treat that gives your dog the dental issues it pretends to solve. That's not incompetence. That's a business model. Number 9. Tesco chicken in jelly. Supermarket own brands race to the bottom on price. When you're competing with Asda and Sainsbury's on cost, something has to give. It's never the profit margin, it's always the ingredients. Flip over a tin of Tesco chicken in jelly and scan the ingredient list. You'll find something that should make you stop cold. Various sugars, not sugar, singular, not a specific type you can research or avoid. Various sugars, plural, vague, deliberately unhelpful. They don't tell you which sugars, they don't tell you how much, they just list various sugars like it's a pick and mix sweet shop, not dog food. This is a legal loophole. By using the plural and staying vague, they can hide the actual content. And why would dog food need multiple types of sugar? Because it creates addiction. Your dog isn't loving this food because it's nutritious or satisfying. They're chemically hooked on the sugar rush. When your dog begs for Tesco's jelly chunks, that's not preference. That's manufactured dependency. Open a tin and smell it. Notice that artificial sweetness that hits before any meat aroma. That's the added sugars designed to override your dog's natural instincts and create cravings. Dogs in the wild don't seek out sugar. They seek protein and fat. But Tesco has figured out that addiction sells more tins than nutrition. You save a few pence per tin and spend hundreds at the vet when your dog develops weight issues, diabetes-like symptoms, or dental decay from the constant sugar exposure. The cheap option is always the most expensive option. You're just paying the bill later, with interest. Number 8. Wine-a-lot shapes. Here's where nostalgia becomes a weapon. Wine-a-lot has been around since 1927. That's nearly a century of British pet food history. The brand trades heavily on that legacy. Older owners remember Wine-a-lot kibbles from their childhood. They remember their parents' dogs thriving on it, so they buy Wine-a-lot shapes thinking they're buying that same trusted formula. They're not. The original Wine-a-lot kibbles your grandparents fed, the company stopped making them. What you're buying now is a completely different product that borrowed the name for its nostalgic value. Look at the small print on the packaging. It says complimentary, not complete. That's not a minor detail. Complete means it provides all the nutrition a dog needs. Complimentary means it's a treat, not a meal. But it's marketed and priced like everyday food. The ingredient list is led by cereals, not meat. You'll find vague categories throughout, meat and animal derivatives without specifics. No transparency, no clarity, just the absolute minimum the law requires. Wine-a-lot is banking on your memories of a product that doesn't exist anymore. They're selling you nostalgia in a box while filling that box with grain-heavy filler and mystery derivatives. Your grandparents' generation trusted Wine-a-lot because it was one of the few options and it seemed fine. You're trusting it because of their memory, not because of what's actually in the bag today. That's not quality, that's exploitation of emotional connection to a brand that changed everything except its name. Number 7. Bonio Original, another British institution. And like Wine-a-lot, Bonio trades on that longevity as if it's proof of safety. It's been around forever, so it must be good, right? Wrong. Cigarettes were around for decades too. Longevity proves successful marketing, not nutritional value. Bonio is marketed as a wholesome British biscuit for dogs. The packaging is traditional, reassuring, familiar. But the ingredient list tells a different story. Cereals are listed first. That means grain is the primary component, not meat. For a carnivore whose biology is designed for protein and fat, you're feeding them a carbohydrate-heavy biscuit. The ingredients hide behind vague categories. You'll see meat and animal derivatives without any clarity on what animal or what parts. You'll see oils and fats without specifying which ones or their quality. Then there's the fine print again. Complementary food. It's marketed as an everyday treat you can give freely, but it's not nutritionally complete. You're filling your dog up on what's essentially a grain-based filler marketed as a biscuit. Bonio has survived this long because they nailed the branding. That traditional British image, the nostalgia factor, the presence in every supermarket. But surviving as a brand and being good for dogs are completely different measures. Just because it's been on shelves since your childhood doesn't mean it should be in your dog's bowl today. Number 6. Asda Hero. Supermarket-owned brands have quality control issues that premium brands would never tolerate. When your entire business model is undercutting competitors on price, consistency becomes negotiable. Asda Hero takes this to an extreme. Owners have reported opening tins from the same product line and getting completely different contents. One tin comes out brown with a meaty smell, the next is grey with a chemical odor. Same product code, same supposed recipe, entirely different appearance and smell. The protein percentages vary between batches. One tin might have slightly higher meat content, the next might be mostly water and jelly. There's no consistency, no quality control ensuring you get the same product twice. Some tins have a musty, off-putting smell that makes even hungry dogs hesitate. Others seem fine. You're playing Russian roulette with every tin. You genuinely don't know what you're getting until you crack it open. And because it's a budget-owned brand, there's minimal accountability. Asda isn't staking their reputation on Hero the way a dedicated pet food company would. It's just one of thousands of products they sell. If it fails, they'll reformulate or discontinue it. Your dog pays the price for that experimentation. The shifting recipe isn't a bug. It's a feature of the budget-owned brand model. They're constantly tweaking formulas to shave pennies off production costs. Sometimes they switch suppliers. Sometimes they change ratios to match fluctuating ingredient prices. Your dog's nutrition is secondary to their profit optimization. One owner described it perfectly. You can't even trust that this tin matches the last tin. What are they actually selling you? The answer is whatever was cheapest to produce that week. Number 5. Pedigree Dry, the complete nutrition kibble. We already covered pedigree wet food, but the dry formula deserves its own spotlight because it reveals something even more fundamental about how these companies think. Dogs are carnivores. Their biology evolved over thousands of years to process meat, fat, and protein. Their teeth are designed for tearing flesh. Their digestive systems are built for animal-based nutrition. Their ancestors didn't graze on wheat fields. So why is the first ingredient in pedigree dry cereals? Because grain is cheaper than meat. Because you can bulk up a bag with wheat, corn, and rice for pennies compared to chicken or beef. Because profit margins matter more than species-appropriate nutrition. The ingredient list reads like a masterclass in vague categories, meat and animal derivatives scattered throughout, never with specifics. You have no idea what animal those derivatives came from. You have no idea what parts. You just know there's some amount of animal material somewhere in that grain-heavy mix. 50% of UK dogs are now overweight or struggling with health issues related to weight. That didn't happen randomly. It happened because we've normalized feeding carnivores a high-carbohydrate, grain-based diet that their bodies aren't designed to process. It's the same junk food science that gave humans epidemic levels of obesity and health conditions. Cheap carbs, vague proteins, maximum profit. And who profits when your overweight dog develops issues? Mars, the parent company. The same corporation selling you pedigree also owns vet clinics treating the problems their food creates. They're not incompetent, they're running a system designed to profit at both ends. Your dog is the product, not the customer. Number 4. Tesco Complete Dry. If Pedigree's grain-heavy formula is bad, Tesco's budget version is worse. Because at least Pedigree has decades of brand reputation to protect. Tesco Complete Dry is pure race-to-the-bottom economics. Cereals are listed first. That's your main ingredient. Then you get to the meat category. 22% meat and animal derivatives. That sounds low, but it gets worse. Only 4% of that 22% is actually chicken. Do the maths. You're getting less than 1% identifiable chicken in a bag marketed as complete dog food. The rest of that 22% mystery animal parts could be anything deemed safe enough for pet consumption, but not human consumption. Organs, offcuts, byproducts from the human food chain. All hidden under the legally compliant phrase derivatives. Here's the budget trap in action. You buy Tesco Complete because it's £10 for a large bag. Premium brands are double or triple that price. You feel smart for saving money. Then 6 months later, your dog is at the vet with skin issues, weight problems, or digestive distress. The vet bill is £300. The cheap food just cost you 30 times its price in medical intervention, and you'll probably never connect the dots. You'll think your dog just got unlucky, or it's genetic, or it's age-related. You won't think it's the food because the food says complete nutrition right on the bag. Tesco isn't trying to feed your dog well. They're trying to undercut competitors on shelf price. The quality of ingredients, the nutritional value, the long-term health outcomes, none of that factors into their pricing strategy. They want your money today. Your dog pays the bill tomorrow. Number 3. Lily's Kitchen. This one hurts because Lily's Kitchen used to be different. They were the independent UK brand that actually cared. Premium ingredients, transparent labeling, ethical sourcing, everything you'd want from a dog food company. Owners paid more because they trusted the mission. Until April 2020. That's when Nestlé Purina bought them. One of the biggest corporate food conglomerates in the world acquired the small independent brand that built its entire reputation on not being corporate. And everything changed. The recipes might be similar, the packaging still looks premium. The price certainly stayed high. But the ownership fundamentally altered what you're buying. You're no longer supporting an independent company fighting for better standards. You're funding Nestlé, a corporation with a documented history of prioritizing profit over health outcomes. Real owners noticed. The comments and reviews after the acquisition tell the story. Dogs that thrived on pre-2020 Lily's Kitchen started having issues. Some got sick, some refused to eat it, some developed skin problems or digestive distress. Not every dog, but enough that the pattern became obvious. Nestlé didn't buy Lily's Kitchen to keep doing what Lily's Kitchen was doing. They bought a premium brand they could slot into their portfolio. They bought the customer loyalty and trust that Lily's built. And now they're selling you Nestlé Purina ownership at Lily's Kitchen prices. Many UK dog owners have boycotted Lily's Kitchen entirely since the acquisition, not because the current formula is definitely worse, but because they refuse to fund Nestlé while being charged a premium for the privilege. If you're paying extra for dog food, it should be going to a company that deserves it. Nestlé already owns Purina, Felix and a dozen other brands. They don't need your premium price loyalty. The brand you trusted because it wasn't corporate became exactly what you were trying to avoid. They took your loyalty and sold it to the highest bidder. Number 2. Royal Canin. Walk into any vet clinic and you'll see bags of Royal Canin on the shelves. Your vet probably recommends it. The vet nurse might hand you a sample bag when you adopt a puppy. Royal Canin has positioned itself as the veterinary choice, the scientific formula, the premium option. Here's what they don't mention. Mars Pet Care owns Royal Canin, the same Mars that owns Pedigree, Dentastics and Whiskers. And Mars isn't just buying pet food brands, they're buying vet clinics. VCA, one of the largest chains, is Mars-owned. Smaller independent practices are being acquired across the UK. Do you see the conflict yet? Your vet recommends Royal Canin. You trust that recommendation because vets are supposed to prioritize animal health. But the vet clinic is owned by the same corporation that makes Royal Canin. They profit from selling you the food, then they profit again when your dog needs treatment. It's not a coincidence. It's a business model. And the food itself doesn't justify the premium price or the vet endorsements. Check the ingredient list. It's grain-heavy with vague categories. You'll see derivatives and undefined sources throughout. For a brand that markets itself as scientifically formulated, there's surprisingly little transparency about what's actually in the bag. Then there's the Chinese ingredients scandal. Royal Canin has faced repeated questions about sourcing ingredients from China. Real owners reported their dogs getting sick after eating Royal Canin. One owner described her dog becoming so ill after just 3 days that a vet suggested putting her down. She switched foods instead, and the dog recovered. That's not an isolated story. The vet recommendation isn't based purely on nutritional merit. There are financial incentives in play. Some vets get kickbacks for stocking and recommending certain brands. Some vet clinics are contractually tied to parent companies. Your vet's recommendation might be genuine, or it might be influenced by factors that have nothing to do with your dog's health. Follow the money. When the company making the food also owns the clinic treating sick dogs, every bag sold is a potential future customer for veterinary services. That's not healthcare. That's vertical integration designed to maximize profit at every point in your dog's life. Number 1. Hill's Science Diet. The brand with science right in the name. That should mean something, right? Scientific formulation, research-backed nutrition, premium quality ingredients. It should mean all of that. Instead, it's one of the most deceptive marketing exercises in the UK pet food industry. Hill's has faced widespread allegations using sawdust as a filler, not quality fiber, not nutritious plant material. Sawdust. The stuff you sweep up in a woodworking shop. Now, Hill's disputes this, and we need to be careful with allegations, but the claim has persisted for years across multiple owner groups and forums. Where there's that much smoke, questions need answering. Look at how the kibble is made. High-temperature extrusion processing, they cook the ingredients at industrial temperatures to form those uniform pellets. The problem, that heat destroys much of the nutritional value. Vitamins break down, proteins denature. What you're left with is a shelf-stable product that's nutritionally depleted compared to fresh or gently cooked food. Open a bag of Hill's Science Diet and smell it. That dusty, over-processed aroma, That's nutrition cooked out at temperatures designed for manufacturing efficiency, not nutritional preservation. But here's the real scandal. Vets recommend Hills constantly. It's the go-to suggestion for puppy food, senior formulas, prescription diets, and vets get financially incentivized to recommend it. Some receive kickbacks for stocking Hills products. Some get discounts, promotional support, or other financial arrangements that tie their recommendation to their bottom line. The science in the name is pure marketing. Yes, they have research facilities, yes, they employ nutritionists, but so do companies making actually good food. The difference is Hills spends more on vet relationships and marketing than on ingredient quality. Real owners describe Hills as horrible. They talk about dogs refusing to eat it. They describe dogs getting sick after switching to Hills prescription diets. They question why the premium price doesn't translate to premium ingredients. When you check the ingredient list, you'll see the same issues plaguing cheaper brands: vague categories, grain-heavy formulas, limited named meat content. The only difference is the price and the vet endorsement. You're paying for marketing, not quality. The brand that wraps itself in scientific credibility is selling you over-processed, nutritionally depleted kibble at premium prices while financially incentivizing vets to keep recommending it. That's not science. That's a scam with a lab coat on. So what should you actually feed your dog? After exposing 12 products that shouldn't exist, let's talk about the brands and approaches that UK owners with long-lived healthy dogs actually use. Real dogs living 15, 17, even 18 years, dogs with shiny coats, healthy weight, minimal vet visits, and genuine excitement for meals. Not sugar addiction, not chemical dependency, real food that dogs actually thrive on. And here's what happens when you switch to quality food. Owners report 6 major changes. Smaller, firmer stool. This is the most reliable indicator. The smaller the stool, the more nutrients your dog is absorbing. Massive, mushy stool mean most of the food is filler passing straight through. Quality food means smaller stool because their body is using the nutrition. Second, shiny, healthy coats. Within 2 to 4 weeks, you'll see the transformation. Dull, brittle fur becomes glossy and soft. That's proper nutrition reaching skin and hair follicles. Third, reduced allergy flare-ups. Constant scratching, itchy paws, ear infections, hot spots. These often disappear when you remove mystery ingredients and artificial additives. Fourth, fewer vet visits. Better nutrition equals stronger immune systems equals healthier dogs. What you spend on quality food, you save on vet bills. Fifth, improved behavior. Dogs on quality food are calmer, more focused, easier to train. Poor nutrition affects brain function. Proper fuel means proper behavior. And sixth, the most important sign, dogs delighted for meals. One owner with 4 dogs said they are delighted to have their breakfast and dinner. That's what proper species-appropriate food looks like. Not addiction to sugar and fat, but genuine excitement for real food. First, Bella and Duke. This is raw feeding done right. Bella and Duke scores 97% on All About Dog Food. That's exceptional. They're available in independent pet specialists, raw food stores, pets at home, and via direct home delivery. What makes Bella and Duke different is total transparency. Minimum 80% named meat, not derivatives. Not vague categories, named meat with every cut and every offal clearly listed. You'll see whole chickens, whole blueberries, entire carrots shredded on site, extra virgin olive oil, no fillers, no smoke and mirrors, no mystery ingredients. They produce everything in-house at their own UK factory. They're Raw Safe certified and UK Pet Food certified, meaning their manufacturing standards match human food production. A food industry professional who's visited multiple pet food factories described Bella and Duke as night and day compared to major corporate facilities. Clearly identifiable meat. Whole ingredients. Standards that would make most human food manufacturers jealous. The meals come frozen. You'll need dedicated freezer space. The price is premium, usually £2 to £4 per day depending on your dog's size. But the results speak for themselves. Owners report smaller poos, shiny coats, reduced allergies, fewer vet visits, calmer behavior, and dogs genuinely excited for meals. if you can afford it and have the freezer space. This is the gold standard. Second, Paleo Ridge. Another raw feeding option and the most frequently mentioned brand by UK owners in forums and comment sections. Paleo Ridge offers complete raw meals with meat, bone, and offal balanced for species-appropriate nutrition. They're available in some Sainsbury's stores, plus direct delivery. You'll find a variety of protein sources: chicken, beef, lamb, duck, allowing you to rotate and provide variety. The All About Dog Food rating is high. Real owners say their dogs thrive on Paleo Ridge. It requires the same commitment as Bella and Duke: freezer space, premium pricing, and a transition period if you're switching from kibble. But for owners committed to raw feeding, Paleo Ridge delivers quality without the corporate ownership issues plaguing other premium brands. Third, Fourth Glade. If raw feeding isn't practical, Fourth Glade is the best accessible wet food option. 75% named meat. Made in Devon, 85% rating on All About Dog Food. The transparency is genuine. When they say chicken, you see chicken. When they say turkey, you see turkey. No vague derivatives hiding mystery ingredients. The vegetables are visible. There are no artificial colors or preservatives, and the price point is reasonable, usually £1 to £2 per tray. Owners report dogs living 12 to 17 years on Fourth Glade. Multiple testimonials describe healthy, active dogs with shiny coats and good weight on this food. It's widely available, it doesn't require freezer space like raw food, and it's affordable enough for most budgets. If you're looking for quality without massive lifestyle changes, Fourth Glade is the answer. Fourth, Naturo, the best value option that doesn't compromise on quality. 60 to 65% named chicken or meat content. Affordable at around £1.50 per meal. Transparent labeling with visible vegetables. You can see the ingredients in the tray. No junk additives, no mystery categories. Real owner testimonials are remarkable. One described their terrier living 17 years on Naturo. Another said their senior dog reached 18. These aren't corporate marketing claims. These are real people watching their dogs live long, healthy lives on affordable, transparent food. Naturo is often on special offer at pet shops. It's not as widely available as supermarket brands, but it's worth seeking out. For budget-conscious owners who want quality, this is the sweet spot. Fifth, Butternut Box, fresh cooked meals delivered frozen to your door. Human-grade ingredients, vet-formulated balanced nutrition, customized recipes for your dog's age, allergies, and weight needs. The gentle cooking preserves nutrition better than high-temperature kibble processing. No preservatives needed because it's frozen fresh. The meals are pre-portioned, so there's no guessing about serving sizes. The downside is cost, £3 to £5 per day for a medium-sized dog. That's £60 to £150 per month. You'll also need dedicated freezer space and a subscription commitment. Some picky dogs refuse it. If your dog won't adapt, you're stuck with frozen meals you can't use. But for owners who can afford it and value convenience plus quality, Butternut Box delivers. Sixth, Aldi Langham's grain-free range. This is the budget surprise. Not all Aldi dog food is equal, but the specific Langham's grain-free range has shockingly good ingredients for the price. 60% genuine named meats, no additives or E-numbers. Named meat listed first on the label. Grain-free formula. The catch is you must verify ingredients on every purchase. Supermarket-owned brands can change formulas without notice. What's good this month might be different next month. Check every label every time. But if you're on a tight budget and willing to read labels carefully, Langham's is the best supermarket option available. Seventh, home cooked. This is what owners who want total control actually do. Whole chicken breasts, thighs, or carcasses. Brown rice or sweet potato. Green beans, broccoli, carrots, peas. Batch cook 2 to 3 kilograms at a time and freeze in daily portions. Add raw eggs, sardines, or mackerel. Some include organ meats like liver or kidney, but keep those to 5% maximum to avoid vitamin A toxicity. Rotate proteins weekly, supplement with calcium if you're not feeding bones. Crushed eggshell or a calcium supplement will work. The time investment is 2 to 3 hours weekly for batch cooking. You'll need freezer space And you'll need to research balanced nutrition, because it's not just chicken and rice. Done properly, home-cooked food gives you complete transparency. You know exactly what's in every meal. Many owners report dogs living 15 to 18 years on home-cooked diets. The results match or exceed premium commercial foods. You'll see smaller, firmer poos, shiny coats, reduced allergies, fewer vet visits, better behavior, and dogs genuinely excited for meals. The cost is often cheaper than premium brands. What you save on vet bills alone makes it worthwhile. There's one more worth mentioning with caveats: Chappy. This is controversial because the formula seems to have changed recently. Owners report a stronger smell, different consistency, harder to get out of the tin. It's owned by Mars, which creates the same corporate conflict of interest we've discussed. But historically, Chappy has a track record for sensitive stomachs. Vets used to recommend it for dogs with digestive issues. Some owners report 3 dogs over 30 years living to 13 and 17 on Chappy. Guide Dogs for the Blind has recommended it. If your dog has chronic digestive issues and has done well on Chappy, you might continue with awareness that the formula has changed, and it's Mars-owned. It's not a first choice, but it has enough of a track record that outright dismissing it would be unfair. 13 products built on vague ingredients, corporate conflicts of interest, and marketing lies, and 7 options that actually prioritize your dog's health. The supermarket aisle is designed to confuse you. Heartwarming packaging, scientific claims, vet recommendations, all of it engineered to make you trust without questioning. But your dog can't question. They can't research ingredients or read studies. They eat what you give them and trust you completely. If this video changed how you see that bag in your cupboard, hit that hype button one more time. Leave a comment telling me which food product we should investigate next. Human food, cat food, treats, whatever you want exposed. Let me know. And subscribe, because I'm doing more videos like this. The corporations have had decades to perfect their deception. It's time we started pushing back. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and protect your plate